Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Facebook is acting sort of weird lately. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for this opportunity to share more things with you about the pandemic that we're going through and how you can actually stay in your heart and thrive even during lockdown. Okay. This is my purpose. Okay. The purpose of this group is to provide you with support, provide you with tools so that you can create actually a new reality for yourself with your children at home and still thrive in that. Okay, no matter what's going on in the outside world, you still get to thrive and be whole and at peace and in calm, even through a global crisis. Okay, so I'm going to start sharing some things with you about how I got to where I am now. And basically, my story goes like this. Or when I look back on my life, sorry, I'm just got a little bit of a itchy nose. When I look back on my life, I realized that it's from the greatest challenges that I received, my greatest gifts in life. Okay, one of my biggest challenges ever was being cheated on my then boyfriend. Okay, and going through that actually felt like, this might seem trivial right now, but it was one of my dark nights of the soul. Okay, I don't know if you've heard about the dark night of the soul. It's when you, as your experience in life just takes you to your knees, and you think that your heart is literally being ripped out of you. Okay, through whatever experience you're experiencing, through whatever calamity, through whatever what do we call it, adversity. Okay, when I was experiencing that, I had a physical experience of feeling that my heart was being ripped out of my body. Okay, it was a physical experience, right? But instinctively, I didn't know immediately, but through that dark night of the soul that I had experienced at such a young age, it drew me in deeper, it drew me inwards to myself deeper, it drew me closer to God, it drew me closer to my strengths. Okay, and it brought me to trust God even more, because He had a bigger plan for me, He had a better plan for me, and I didn't know about that. So this is where we get to also bring in our trust and our faith, whatever you have faith in. Okay, I'm not here to preach to you, but I believe in God. I believe there is a higher power, and He is in control right now. There may be people suffering, there may be thousands suffering right now. There is a bigger picture. Okay, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to help sort of, expose that picture little by little, so that you have a better a bird's eye view. Okay, so that you get lifted out of the muck and you're seeing things from above. Okay, so when I had the breakup with my then boyfriend, 6 months later, 6 months down the line, I met am I offline again? I met my husband. Okay, and I don't know what's going on. Am I live, guys? Can somebody send me a message and tell me if I'm live? Julie, can you send me a message? I know you're watching. Facebook. Facebook is blocking us. Okay, let's go back. The alchemy. We should be live again. Sorry, guys. This is a bit strange. Probably a lot of traffic on Facebook. Anyway, it's recorded, and those of you who want the recording, I'll send the recording to you through a Zoom link, okay? Because probably on Facebook in the group, it's going to be cut into sections. So I'll just continue from where I left off, okay? So 6 months down the line, after my breakup with my then boyfriend, I met my husband, my dream guy, okay? But during the breakup, that's not what you can see. That's not what I could see happening for my life. I was down and out. I was in pain. I was afraid. I was suffering, okay? But I did the inner work, right? And that was that I was, and I always am, deeply loved, deeply connected, and deeply provided for, and carried through every circumstance. Okay. So another big thing for me, for part of my life, was when I became a mom. I thought that I knew everything that I needed to know. I had done all the books, read all the books, done the classes, prepared my body, prepared my mind, okay, and I was ready to be a mom. And I thought I had it all figured out. And when I became a first-time mom, it was a huge shock to the system. It was a huge shock to my body, a huge shock to my mind, and my whole life. I loved my children. I love my children deeply, but at the same time, becoming a mom, nothing pulls you through your comfort zone faster and quicker and harder than becoming a first-time mom. Okay, I know a lot of you can relate to this. So I struggled. I really struggled. Firstly with the engorged breasts, then with no support at home, then with being everything to this human being, being everything to that person, and losing myself at the same time. So there was a lot of things that came out of that experience. I struggled to keep it together because I thought I had to keep it together, and nothing can be farther from the truth. Okay, you don't have to keep it all together as a first-time mom or at any time. You can break down. You can have a breakdown, and you should have a breakdown if that's what you need to do. The worst thing that you can do right now is to keep stuffing down the emotions and to keep pressing them down, pushing them down, and burying them for the sake of showing face, for the sake of keeping on a happy front and being, for me, I could have easily, and I probably did it in some way. I'm a coach, I'm a life coach, and I should have things all figured out and all together. Not like that. Coaches, life coaches, go through their stuff as well, and that's why I have my own coach as well to support me through my struggles and my challenges and my opportunities. Okay, so nothing could have prepared me for becoming a mom. Nothing. Okay, through motherhood, I came head to head with many of my own limitations, many of my high expectations that I couldn't fulfill. Okay, and old patterns that were creating a constant cognitive dissonance in my life, because I was, it's like when you're expecting certain things and you prepare for all these things and you're waiting and expecting these things, and in the end it doesn't happen. So it's creating there's a conflict. And this conflict is internal, because your internal wiring and your mental is not matching. So cognitive dissonance is what happens, and you feel this in your physical reality. When things are not aligned properly on the inside, you experience conflict and cognitive dissonance in your reality, meaning things aren't matching up for you. You're constantly in struggles, you're constantly facing challenges, and you just can't get out of that. Okay, life is a challenge, right? But we get to enjoy those challenges, and we get to have fun as well. Okay, so I've got notes, as you can see, all prepared for you. So, and why the things that happened, when I came head to head with those experiences, I grew more than I ever imagined possible. And why did I grow? Let me just send a quick message into the group to explain what happened. Technical difficulties with the live. I'm recording it and will post in here as soon as. Okay. Okay, so why did I grow through all those challenges? I grew because I was prepared to take the necessary action steps, to learn the new skills, to do the inner work, and to create a new reality for myself every single day. I connected to a higher vision for my life and for my family, and I still do. Every day, I connect to a higher vision. Okay, so what I'm trying to say to you is that I had a choice, much like you have a choice today. And here are the two choices in context of what we're experiencing today on a global scale. Okay, you either get to live with the challenges of Corona and hate how it's limiting your life, and hate how it's creating fear in you, and hate how it's creating the struggle for you every day. Okay, that's one choice. So the fear, the hatred, the worry, the stress, the anxiety that millions of people are experiencing right now. Okay, that's a choice. I want you to see this now. This is a choice. Okay, or you get to choose the other side of the coin. You get to live with the challenges of the coronavirus and thrive within its infinite possibilities that it's opening up for you. Okay, so that you get to create a life that you love anyway, despite what's happening around the world. And that is possible. I want you to see that that is absolutely possible. Okay, you have to make that choice every day though, and you probably will need to make it multiple times a day. Okay, otherwise you will get pulled in by the mainstream media and the lower grid matrix, which is full of fear-based paradigms, fear-based stories. You're probably already feeling that at some level, okay? Especially if you're an empath. The mainstream is the media, social media, and any fear-based programming that you're attracting into your day. And it's causing you to be numb to your actual emotions, your true purpose, your true human nature, which is love and kindness and joy and gentleness. So it numbs you into further believing that you're stuck, that your life is on hold, and you have to wait it out. Okay, you don't have to wait anything out. And I'm going to show you why. Okay, Corona's here to stay for a while. Some of my sources say that it's only going to start settling in July. Now, I'm not saying that to scare you, but this is the reality of what we're experiencing now. This is it. Okay. So what you get to do now is to choose. Do I wait it out? Do I wait my life out until Corona's gone? Or do I choose to live in the now, in the present moment, and create my life moment by moment the way I want to create it? Because there's a choice, okay? And you get to choose that for yourself and for your family. And just to make it clear, I'm not here today to give you ideas for self-care or ideas on how to keep your kids busy so that you don't have to deal with the emotional upheaval that this is happening and bringing up for millions of families. There's already so much information out there that you can access and create schedules and, keep them and yourself busy. But with all the business that goes on, I think there's also disconnection. Okay, and distraction. So just see where you're being over busy and over scheduled, even while you're at home with all this time, and ask yourself why. Why are you scheduling so many things for your kids and for yourself? Routine is great. It's great to have routine, but just see where you're controlling the routine. Okay, so what nobody is talking to you about is you. And how you get to thrive and grow to become the mom you've always dreamed of becoming, even through this crisis. Okay, because this is coming full circle, full circle. Okay, to motherhood, to Mother Earth, and to healing. So, who do you dream of becoming as a mom during this experience? I can imagine that you want to be calm. I can imagine you want to be you know, clearer about your purpose in life. Have passion and be passionate about your life and the people around you. Energized, feel relaxed and solution focused instead of problem focused. I can imagine that you'd also like to be instinctively positive and, you know, high vibrational. Okay, somebody that is a magnet to those type of people. And maybe deeply connected to your children on a soul level, deeply connected to your partner, and truly, you know, becoming a mom who can trust her instincts and your intuition. Your instincts and your intuition is the same thing, okay? And don't confuse your instincts with your gut instinct. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? And perhaps you'd like to become somebody or a mom who knows where to get the answers and the solutions to her everyday challenges, whether they're big or small. You know, I'm sure this resonates with a lot of you. So basically, you can collect all the tips, all the strategies, all the tools, all the hacks, and fill your brain to the brim with all these interesting and amazing things that could help you change your life. And keep your kids busy, you know, and stay sane, like everybody's, you know, putting out there. But there is one ingredient that has to be present for the cake to rise. You're the cake, okay? And you have a cherry on top. So that ingredient is action, taking action, okay? If you want to thrive in circumstances, you have to take action on the things that are important to you, on your non-negotiables, okay? And for me, a non-negotiable is my inner well-being, you know, my awareness to and connection to my higher self, my essence. Because when it's activated and when you engaged in your life, when your soul's essence is activated and engaged in your life and actively working for you and showing you things, it ripples out to your connection, to your children, to your partner, to your life, to your business, everything. So this is something that starts on the inside, okay? And when this is activated, it creates a ripple, right? My business is called Ripple Effect. And it's not by coincidence that it's called that. I mean, I've had Ripple Effect since 2011. And it's just showing me more and more how applicable it is in my life and in everybody's life. Okay, so nothing else really matters right now. You know, nothing else really matters right now except your inner well-being. Okay, not even homeschooling. Listen to me. Nothing else matters right now than your inner well-being. Because when your inner well-being is going haywire, then that means you're going to see that being reflected back to you in your real world, in your reality, in your children's behaviors, in your response to them, in your, you know, I know you're feeling afraid right now and worried and uncertain, you know, about everything that's happening and how things will plan out. And just know that these are all normal feelings, normal to feel afraid. We're human beings and we are actually naturally wired to feel fear and to be drawn towards the things that are fearful so that our instinct is triggered, so that our primal instincts are triggered to fight or flight or freeze mode for safety, for protection, especially as moms, okay? We have that instinct and it's quite, how do I say? It's quite sensitive, okay? So moms all over the globe have gone into a primal fear mode and are sort of lingering there. And it's not doing you any good, okay? It's not doing anything for your inner well-being. It's just cultivating more worry, more fear, and attracting even more things with that same frequency to justify the fear and the worry, okay? And what is fear actually? You know, you're in this group because you want to learn new tools and you want to learn new ways of being as a mom and being the best mom to your children and helping them to be the amazing human beings that they can be as adults, okay? So the information that I'm giving you in these trainings and, you know, when we connect is is the cutting edge tools that are used by high-end coaches, by my coaches that I daily connect with. Okay, and you need to get into this way of being. Okay, because it's going to support you in an incredible way. Okay, so the fear and the primal instincts of fear and getting into protection mode and safety mode. Okay, these are all normal, and it's how we're wired. But it's not a good idea to stay there. We all know what happens when we latch onto fear, when we latch onto fear-based thoughts. It compromises our nervous system. It lowers our immune response, okay? And we become more susceptible to fear-based programming, illness, stress, worry, okay? All of that, you know this stuff, all right? So as moms in this group, you want to be able to acknowledge the fears. So fears coming up during your day, fear-based thoughts, feeling fear in your body, acknowledge the fears, feel them, feel what's happening, you know, engage with your senses, engage with your perception of your senses, through your senses, and let the fear pass through your body so that you can alchemize it into something of a higher order. This is what you're supposed to be doing as human beings. This is what is actually, it's an inborn tool, okay? And it's something that's going to serve you on a deeper level, and it's something you can teach with children. So fear is actually serving you at the same time. So you can say thank you to the fear because it's serving you by exposing to you a program that is running in the background. Okay, so what happens? How does this work? You've locked into the lower density of thoughts that are creating a reaction in your body, a chemical reaction. Okay, so you don't ignore that. Use it as a guide to get even more aware when you're not being present. So we're being called now to, more than ever, to become heart operational. And I'll explain what that is in a minute. So basically, what happens with the cycle of fear? You watch the news, you hear a fear-based programming being told. So you take that in for yourself, and you know it stays there. It gets stored somewhere, and then it works in the subconscious, in the background. Okay, so every time you're hearing something on the news that is, it's instinctively, it's triggering your primal fears. It's triggering your primal fears, and because we're wired for protection and security, especially because we have kids, right? Because we're wired that way, we latch onto that. We'll latch onto that story, that fear-based story, and you know, hold it tight because it just might happen, right? And we didn't jump to the future. We didn't jump to the future and imagine this thing actually happening, which is just confirming in your neurology a thing that's not happening. But for your brain, for your mind, your subconscious mind doesn't know when something's real or not. So whether you're thinking about something that isn't real or not, if it's something, you know, fantastical, your subconscious mind takes that as real. So it takes it on for itself, and it's now stored in your body, okay, as a fear, and you don't want that, okay? So you need, and the emotions that come up for you every day are showing you, they're showing them that you that you're engaging in fear-based thoughts, okay? And it's an opportunity for you to begin to disengage from those fear-based thoughts and begin to process them so that they come out of your subconscious mind, out of your system, and you begin to replace them with more resourceful thinking patterns and belief systems, okay? So that when you're thinking something, a nice chemical response is created, you know, one of love or joy, happiness and calm and peace and, you know, resourcefulness. Chemical reaction is created by the brain because you've thought a specific thought, and then the chemical reaction causes the feeling in your body, okay? So basically, we are living in the feeling of our thoughts, okay? We get to feel a feeling because we've thought a certain way. Can you see what I'm saying? So that's why we have to be very, very conscious of our thoughts, okay? So Heart operational. This is what I'm all about. We are here to become more heart operational. And this is what happens when your heart gets activated. What does that mean? There's a seed inside of your heart. Everybody, at birth, there's a seed planted inside of your heart. Okay, it's a seed of consciousness, also known as the heart of God. And when this gets activated, you activate your soul's essence inside of your heart. Okay, and when this gets activated, you open yourself up to a higher frequency. Your frequency goes up, and you get a clearer vision of a higher reality that's possible for you. Okay, you get a vision of a higher reality that's possible for you, and then that gets projected out between your heart and your third eye, which is the God mind. Okay, so your unified heart is working with the God mind together to project out this higher reality for you, and you actually project that out into the hologram, the matrix that we're experiencing. Okay, and you begin to create a shift in your life and the planet. So this is how powerful you are. Now stay with me, because it's getting interesting now. You take the primal fears of yours and you alchemize them. That's what we're here to do. Okay? Alchemy, taking something ordinary, fear-based, and making it extraordinary. Okay? Something that can support you, something that can lift you, lift your family. Okay? So you alchemize it into something of light, of love, of gratitude. You don't stay locked in the fears, guys. Okay, don't stay locked onto the fear. Get your dose of the news, 20 minutes a day, and get out. Get out. It's just data. It's just data. Okay. Use it wisely. Okay. So, when you focus on the fear, when you get locked into the fear, this is what happens. Your heart gets blocked. Your heart gets blocked, right? Walls get put up, right? And you're blocking your soul's essence because of your fears, literally. And when the walls go up, you are unable to live an abundant life with joy and infinite love because you're buying into the fear. So stop buying into the fear, okay? Alchemize. Alchemize. The virus has brought us to our knees, okay? Even the highly conscious teachers are speaking about this, but it doesn't mean that we have to stay there. It has created a movement, right? A collective wave of people standing up and helping each other. It's incredible. Okay, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. And it's incredible to see, because no matter how much money you have, no matter what position you hold, no matter who you are on the planet, this virus has affected you in some way. Okay, so, and it has changed your life. And we get to step even deeper into our souls, so that we can lead our families through this, okay, with our hearts exploding with love. There will be people after this pandemic sharing their pre-corona and post-corona life. You can be guaranteed of that. And they will be sharing how it changed their lives forever, and how they are living with purpose, and how they're living the truth in alignment with love and with light. So my question is, what are you going to be sharing about pre and post-corona? What will you be saying? What will you be saying? Who are you becoming during this transfer? Because this is a transfer. It's a transfer of many energetic tools. Okay, but I'm not going to go into that right now. The question is, who are you becoming during this global humanitarian movement? Okay, those that are in the higher consciousness field say that there's a transfer happening where money and wealth is being transferred from the dark to the light. One of my colleagues, she's a teacher in this field. She's a leading coach, and she guides people to get into the transfer of wealth and money. Okay, and just imagine if this is happening for the world today, in context of wealth and money, that the money of the planet, the wealth of the planet, is moving from a place of darkness to a place to the light, to the people that are holding the light. Imagine what's happening for motherhood, okay, for Mother Earth, and all the mothers in the timelines that have existed ever, in all time. Massive healing is happening. Okay, massive clearing is happening. Massive love is growing. Okay, all of the traumas from all of the timelines, from the history of humanity, have the opportunity to be healed through this crisis, because you and I are healing each and every wound and trauma that is coming up for us during this magnified personal and collective adversity. Okay, you see how powerful you are right now. And when you choose to heal and step through the fears, that you're actually choosing to heal the whole of humanity as a whole. Okay, as a whole, there is a responsibility that each of us have, and it comes with the understanding that we are connected. We are all one. And your healing is my healing, and your growth is my growth, and the planet's as one body. Okay, when you think of your body having trillions of cells, your physical body, okay, you've got trillions of cells, and each cell has its purpose and its job. Okay, and each cell has its memory and programming. In the same way, you and I, you are a cell in the body of humanity, and you have your purpose, your job, your memory, and your programming. Specifically, connected to you, to this cell, you being the cell, okay? And you have an important part to play, not only for your family, but for the collective, okay? As a cell, you have a choice as well. You have a choice to be part of the shift or not. When you understand that you are truly part of one body, and that you can see your power and your responsibility in there, and then you see that choosing to shift more into the light is part of our evolution collectively right now. And this is what I'm part of. Every adversity, this is coming back now to what I shared with you in the beginning about my challenges and my dark nights of the soul, my adversities in life. Every adversity you experience has the potential to bring more light, growth, expansion, and huge innovation for you. And this is what's happening now for those that are open to seeing the current experience as an opportunity to shift. Okay, and you get to choose how to be part of that. It's a choice. As a mom, you are first and foremost a creator. You're a creator of life. You have been given a gift, and you get to create your life right now. You get to recreate it in every single moment of your day, and with all the hats you're currently wearing, of mom, of nurse, of cook, of teacher, of therapist, everything, of wife, of, so many hats. We've just been added. We've just been put more hats on our heads, okay? Some were wanted and some were not, right? But I'd like you to think of this as an opportunity to reboot, to press the reset button, to have a rebirth, okay? As if you just got a second chance at an even more incredible life, okay? So right now, you get to choose what you want to create during this time where everybody is in lockdown, everyone is in isolation. Which contract do you sign? The one that is going to bring in more fear and doubt and worry and anxiety, which is going to perpetuate that even more for your life and your family and the collective, because you're feeding into that. So when you feed something, it grows, obviously. Or are you going to be signing the contract that is going to bring in more love, more calm, faith and peace and trust and a higher power and light, which is going to perpetuate that even more for your life and your family and the collective? It's actually a no-brainer, to me. So just remember, you have a responsibility, and you are a cell. Excuse me. You are a cell in the body, and you have a role to play in all of this. So whatever you're experiencing right now in your reality, you have a certain hand in that. Okay? More than ever, we're experiencing an interconnectedness. And with all our technological accomplishments, this is showing us that now even more that we reach out to people that we haven't spoken to in years. We check in with those who may need support, and we offer a helping hand or prayer or energy to raise each other up. So it's sinking in, we're interconnected, okay? There's no doubt about that. And there is an increase of light happening right now in the world that you are a part of. You cannot deny that. So stop letting the news lie to you. That you have no way of controlling what's happening. You can't control the virus. I'm not saying that you can, but you can control how you spread your energy to others, which can become a virus in and of itself. You know, if you're choosing to spread fear and that type of energy, fear spreads like wildfire, okay? And we're seeing now the opposite with the light and the love and the kindness of humanity spreading like wildfire. Well, at least in my reality, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing in my social media. That's what I'm seeing coming up on my Instagram. That's what I'm seeing when I'm speaking to the people that I'm connected with in my community, my coaches, my colleagues. That's what I'm seeing, because that's where I'm feeding. Now, if you're not seeing that, if you're seeing more fear, more deaths, more worry, more darkness, it's because you're feeding into that. I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm not saying ignore it, but you can engage with it in a different way. You can engage with that with prayer. You can engage with that through inner reflection, okay? And lighting a candle and offering love and light to those people, okay? So see how you're engaging with these things, okay? So you can control what you decide to spread. You can choose to spread the light, and you don't need to sanitize to do that. Okay, sorry for putting that in. You can do it by just being present in the moment, becoming aware of what is coming up for you, and catching yourself when you're going down into fear mode. Catch yourself before it gets too far, before you anchor a new program inside of you. Okay, catch yourself and notice how you are not in the present moment. That's what fear does. Fear projects you because you're thinking of something in the future. You're worried about something happening. You're afraid of your children getting hurt. You're afraid of contracting the disease. You're afraid of somebody you love contracting the disease, somebody that's high risk. I understand. I do. I've got high risk members as well in my family. Okay, but I'm not engaging in the fear. I'm not. Can I tell you what I am doing? Really? Maybe you'd like to know. Every morning when I wake up, I do a quick meditation, and I put my family, my loved ones, my high-risk family members, everybody I know in my community, my clients, my colleagues, everyone goes into a container of white platinum light, which protects from everything. Okay, that's what I do. So I don't fear the fear factor. I don't feed the fear factor. I feed the love. I feed the light. I feed that that energy, that force, that field, because that's what we have. We have that field around us. And I want that field to grow. And I want you to grow in that too. And I want this group to grow in that too. Okay, I'm here to create a movement. Okay. So, just getting a moment here. So notice how you are not in the present moment when you're in fear. How your thoughts are racing to the future, to a future that doesn't exist yet. You don't know if it's going to happen or not. Gently bring yourself back. You can do that by noticing your breath, engaging in your breath, okay? And coming back into your body, feeling your senses, hearing, engaging in all your senses will bring you back into your body immediately, okay? And that brings you back into the present moment. And then remember something that you love. Remember something that you're grateful for. Come back into life, come back into love. And then you can question the fear and see if it's an imaginary fear, if it's a valid fear. If it is valid fear, can you control it? Is it something you can control about, what you're fearing? If not, then it's not a valid fear. Okay? I'm sorry, but it's not. You get to choose if you want to engage in it or not, but that's also setting you up for going deeper into that hole, okay? So, know, almost finished, okay? Know that in the present moment, all you truly have is now. Your body, your cells, your higher consciousness, your soul's essence, and God is there in all of it. God is in your cells. God is in your heart. God is everywhere, okay? How can we fear? How can fear be present where God is present? If you're truly in the moment, if you're truly in the now, then God is there with you. I'm not turning this into a religious preaching thing. Don't worry. Just hear me out. Because God is love. And where there is love, there is no fear. Okay? So begin to see how you can control your emotions, not controlling them by, resisting them or putting them in a box. No. By understanding your feelings and what they're showing you. Because your feelings are your compass. They're your guide. They're your guide to show you the quality of your thoughts. Okay? Become more aware of the stories that are attached to your thoughts and the feelings. So that those elicit, so that you can start and see what that elicits, so that you can start debunking them. If they're not valid thoughts, why the hell are you thinking about that? Why? Get rid of it. Think something else. Write in your journal. Put on a cool song that you like to dance to. Tickle your kids. Tickle yourself. Okay? Snap out of it. Okay? Okay. So, because you know what else I really want you to take on? You might be feeling a little bit more than usual, feeling more fear than usual right now. Know that a lot of these fears and stories are not yours. They're not your stories, okay? There's a collective, basically all the fears, all the traumas of all time are basically being, shaken out of the sieve and being brought to the surface, okay? So if you are a sensitive person to energy, if you're an empath, you will be picking up on these things and you'll be feeling weird. You'll be feeling sad for no reason. You'll be feeling grief for no reason, and you don't know why. This is why. You're picking up on the stories of past. You're picking up on the trauma of past timelines, of the woman, the moms before you. Okay, so it's so important that you get to clear every single emotion that comes up, because you're helping clear the timelines for your kids. Okay, for your kids. We're doing all this for our kids, right? So we get to cut the cord, cut the cord to those timelines by healing them. So you dig into loving kindness by spreading love and not fear, by believing that there is a bigger picture that will be revealed in good time. I promise you. Dig into why you're caught up in the schedule, the homeschooling, the end results. Dig into why you're snapping at your partner, at your kids. Dig into why you're keeping your distance from your neighbor and how thoughts of contracting the disease plague your mind. When you see another human being walking 20 meters away from you, what story is there for you? It's not your story. It's not your story. Somebody else's story, but it's coming up for you and you need to heal that. Okay? And this goes a lot deeper than you think, right? Think back to World War times, all those timelines coming through, all that pain, all that suffering. Okay? We are being reconditioned now. So keep in mind that I need to mention this, speak into this as well. We're being reconditioned now by the media to believe all sorts of things about our bodies, about our fellow humans, social rejection, about how we need to be careful of each other, and all that. So don't just take things in. Be curious. Question the things that are coming up to you in the form of media. Question who's saying them. Question what might they be gaining by saying these things, okay? And just take what truly serves you in a good way, right? So I have something to share with you actually. Something happened yesterday about my husband was supposed to be home at 3 o'clock and I was supposed to have that time from 3 o'clock till the end of the night to work and to prepare for this training for you guys. And he came home in a fuss, you know, he was quite flustered, and he said he had got an emergency call from his dad, who is actually a high risk member of our family. And he had told him that he had fallen down from the ladder. He was at the orchard. He fell down from the ladder before midday. It was 4 o'clock when he called. And he took a nap, and when he woke up, he couldn't move. He's in a lot of pain, and then he was going to the hospital. The hospital, guys, has been out of bounds because of the coronavirus. And they're only working with limited staff, limited people coming in the emergency room, I think, at least. Don't know about the rest of the hospital. So anyway, my husband came home and he told me that he has to take his dad to the hospital. And immediately, just to see what stories come up for us, immediately, boom, oh my God, the hospital's full of corona. And I was like, these things came up for me, okay? And I was thinking to myself, okay, what if my husband contracts something and brings it back home and we all get sick? Okay, very natural thought. Then these things were going through my mind for about 2 hours, okay, not more, 2 hours. And then he called me from the hospital, from the emergency, and he told me he hadn't got inside. He was waiting outside for his dad to finish. They had taken him for x-rays and things like that. And he told me that they were going to take him home. He had just broken his hand and fractured his back, his spine. Okay. But he was still in the hospital where it was believed to be a massive outbreak of coronavirus. But then later on, I realized that my husband is in the container. Okay. My husband is protected. My husband, even if he gets the corona, he's at high risk. He is strong. He is protected. He's provided for. Okay. My kids as well. So, and I actually came to the realization that my father-in-law had called him and not the other siblings because he was guided to do that. He was guided to do that because I know for sure the other siblings are not in the same mindset as I am, as my husband is. So immediately, by engaging in that inner dialogue with myself, you know, my inner light, I came to the realization that, oh, okay, now I know why my father-in-law phoned his youngest, my husband, to go and help him. He was guided to do that because it is probably likely that if one of the other siblings had taken him, they probably would have, I don't know. I don't want to say that they could have got contracted corona. I just want to say that they're not in that same energy field as me and my family are, all right? Directly, me and my family. I mean, I do put them in the container as well, but you know what I mean? Their own fears might make the energy field less powerful. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's what happened with my husband. So can you see how important it is to do the inner work so that you have a foundation, a strong foundation, okay, when something hits. What else did I want to share? So I just have a summary for you about, there were 3 things that you were gonna get from today's training. It's almost an hour, wow. The first one was how and from where you must gather your strength to stay the course and reach the finish line victoriously. The second one was why it is crucial to be conscious and consistent with your thoughts and in your energy now more than ever. And the third one is the one and only way you can change the narrative of your current life story. Okay, and I'm just going to summarize what I've shared with you under these 3 points. Okay, how and from where you must gather your strength to stay the course and reach the finish line victoriously. Okay, I think it's clear for you. Okay, all the strength you need truly comes from within. And by going within, you're able to process your stuff, so that they don't bog you down and they don't diminish your light and put up the walls around your soul's essence in your heart, which in the end restricts your light, restricts the abundance flow, restricts your joy and your love, all right? Steals your energy. Okay, I've spoken about this in previous trainings, why moms don't have energy. Okay, if you're not clear enough energy-wise, if you're not clear enough with your emotions and clearing the stuff, you know, the negative stuff that come up for you, and you don't have the tools to clear that, so that you're able to transmute or neutralize your fears and the obstacles and the lower density energies and thoughts that come to you, you will end up just brushing them under the carpet. And I don't want you to do that. Okay? This is the most important time ever. Ever. Not only in your life, in the whole of humanity, that we have to clear everything that comes up. Okay? If you don't know how to do it, you need to get support. Find support. Find somebody you know who works with energy, with works, maybe Reiki, anything. Get in touch with me. Okay? This is the most crucial part of living a life from your core and from your soul. When your heart gets activated as a mom, so this is what I do. I activate the hearts of moms so that their seed, so that your soul's essence comes alive. You breathe life into that. Okay? And this is when you get to connect with your purpose in life. You get to connect with your soul's essence and see a clearer vision of, a higher possibility for your life. So, the God seed, right? You activate the God seed and the high consciousness within you. And that's when you begin to live the life of your dreams. Okay? So, number 2, why is it crucial to be conscious and consistent with your thoughts and your energy now more than ever? Because if you aren't, you will go deeper and deeper into the black hole of fear, and that will deplete you and make you even more susceptible to illness, to fear, and not being able to get out of the panic and the anxiety that millions of people are experiencing right now. So you have to be a step above this. To guard your mind, guard your heart, be a steward. Be a steward of your ship. Don't just wade in the bays or wade on the storm. Be a steward. Okay? Get laser focused in love, generosity, compassion, loving kindness, self-compassion, and self-love. These are the virtues of the heart. Okay? Get laser focused into these virtues. You are the keeper of your heart and mind. You don't have to be a slave to the bombardment of what is happening in the media. You don't. Make the choice and limit your exposure and focus your intentions and your energy on your thoughts and your thoughts on love. Okay? The more you do that, the more that will get perpetuated in your life. All right? So, and trust me, if there's important news, you will find out about it one way or the other. I always do. When my mom calls me, she'll always share the latest news with me on the phone. And she'll tell me, why don't you watch the news? You have to know what's going on in the world. But I do know what's going on in the world. And I get very important news from the people that I'm in contact with, from my colleagues that are in very, very high energy places. Okay. So I get the real stories, not the tainted ones. Okay. That are, there's certain ways you can tell a story, and the news tells a story with a lot of fear and sensationalism around it. Okay, you can tell a story, you can tell the news without creating sensationalism and fear. But the news is not news if they don't do that to you. Okay, and that's why they do it 24 hours a day. News, 24 hours around the clock. News, fear, worry, pandemic, deaths. Okay, there's a reprogramming so that you can stay in the fear. Get out. Get out. You have a choice. Okay, you have a choice. So number 3, the one and only way you can change the narrative of your current life story. You get to do this by recognizing the current stories in your life, by healing them, and by creating new ones. Okay? If you're experiencing lack, there's a story there. There's a story there. And your experience on the outside, your reality, is reflecting back to you that there's a story inside of your subconscious mind, playing back in the background around lack, that you are in lack, that you don't have time, that you don't have money, that you don't have love, that you don't have someone to support you, blah, 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 lack, 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 okay? If you're experiencing, I've just put 3 examples, loneliness, there's a story there. It's also lack, okay? If you're experiencing fear and anxiety, there's a story there. There's a story there. We need to go into it. And when I say story, I mean a set of belief systems and patterns that are being played in the background in your subconscious mind. And this is being reflected back to you by your reality so that you can wake up, and, you know, clear these stories out. Do it. Now's the time. Now's the time. Because these stories create a general state of mind, or general state of being, okay, which actually is responsible for your thoughts, which actually dictates your emotions, your feelings, which actually dictates how you will decide on something or the choices that you make in your life, which create your reality, your results in your life, okay, your reality. Okay, so that's the cycle. And if you don't do something to interrupt that cycle, you know, to break the pattern, it's just going to keep playing and showing the same thing back to you. Lack, fear, anxiety, that type of thing. We don't want that. We want to break the pattern, okay? Interrupt the cycle. So, and how do we do this? We do this, yes, through some mindset work, yes, through traditional types of coaching, affirmations, thousands of them, repetition, okay, which is a lot of work, takes a lot of work. Or you get to go a step further, which accelerates the process to be faster with more organic results through the activated heart, okay? And here comes your call to action. So, I hope you've enjoyed what I shared with you today. Listen in now, because this is something you're going to want to not miss, okay? If you are ready to go deeper and begin to heal your own heart, your wounds as a mom, so that your children are healed through the same process, okay? So that you begin to see that the soul, your soul's essence, you know, the God seed, okay? So you begin to connect with that on a deeper level. If you want to start doing things like this, and if you want to go deeper into the fears, clearing them, I am hosting a live activation on Friday, the 3rd of April, probably at 5 p.m. Cyprus time, where I will lead you through I will lead you through a fear clearing. I will clear the fears for you through a live activation, which is called turning your fears into seeds for your future. Okay, this is a vision that came to me. It's an activation that came through me. I've activated my clients already with this, and it's been amazing. Okay, here are some possible outcomes that you will receive from the activation. Deep feeling of calm and peace, with inspiration and ideas on how to innovate in your home. A revived spirit and energy and excitement about leading your family into this new world. And clarity on how to move forward with your own spiritual journey as a mom, right? And a vision of the new world and where we are going as a humanity in the next few weeks and months so that you can be decisive in your family. So if you want to be part of this, it's a global movement where each one of us gets to create a shift from fear to an inspired future within your hearts and within your homes and your children's hearts. A solid foundation is required when building a house, because think of the parable in the Bible where it talks about the house by the sea, and the house that was built on the rocks stood strong when the storms came, when the sea was crashing down on it, when the waves were crashing down, when the wind was blowing. The house that was built on a strong foundation on the rocks stood strong. Okay, now think of the other house that is built on the sand without that strong foundation. Okay, you are the house You are the house. The foundation is your soul's essence, is your connection to your higher self. Okay? The deeper that connection, the stronger that connection, the deeper you go, the stronger the foundation, the rocks. Okay? Now, if you're just in this stage of your life, if you're only just awakening as a spiritual being, that's okay. That's just where you are right now. It doesn't mean you will not have a strong foundation when the storm hits, which is now. We are in a shitstorm, okay? So get on it now. Start doing the work. Start creating that strong foundation for you, because we are going to be getting more storms with this. It's not to say that when the coronavirus goes, that the storms are going to just stop, that life is going to be, that the planet is going to be all glory and white flowers and beauty. No, there's still going to be challenges, okay? And you get to build the foundation for that, all right? So the house, the house that is built on the rocks will not move, okay? And it's the right work that has to get done. This is the right work, guys. This is the work. Diving into your heart, healing the wounds, rising up to your higher consciousness, meeting God inside of you, because He is inside of you. And He always was, okay? From the beginning of time. But we were taught that He is separate from us. And that we're not capable of being in His divine presence as humans, because we were taught that we are tainted, that we're stained, that we're filthy, that we're dirty. So we needed to clean up, okay? God was always there. God is there, okay? And we do clean up anyway, okay? For humanity. My God is a God who loves me no matter what. That's the truth. And that's unconditional love. And that's the way we should be loving our children, unconditionally, okay? And then that's what He wants to give to you, so that you can give it to others. So the foundation that gets built in the heart, it gets done in the heart, in the soul, by breathing life into the seed that He has planted inside of you. Activating your heart is the first step, okay, to awakening your soul's essence and coming into the divine presence of God inside of you. He is not outside of you. He's inside everything. Everything. He's even inside, somewhere inside the coronavirus. Somewhere. Okay? He's providing blessings to us through this. Okay? Because that's how much He loves us. That's how much God loves this planet. Even through this disgusting event, He is providing the blessings for us. And this is one of them. Okay? Create a shift in your home, create the shift in your heart, and no matter what adversity comes to you, the foundation will be strong. Okay? This activation that I'm giving on Friday is the first, it'll be a first step for you to clear the air, clear the energy of fear that's been hanging around and lingering, so that, in your home and in your heart, so you get a clearer vision of what is possible for your family and for your children. So if you want to know more about that, just pop in the comments of the recording when I'm going to post the recording. Pop in the comments, live activation, or I would like more information of the live activation, and I will send you that link when it's ready. I'm busy creating I'm setting it up already as we speak with my assistant, and I'll get that information out to you. Okay. So guys, that's the end of today's training. It has gone longer than I was expecting. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I really, really hope it's brought value to you and has given you a lot of aha and insights. And I'm here for you. Okay, I'm here to support you. I'm here to show you everything I know. Reach out to me. Let's do the activation together next week. I'm so excited that I'm actually going to be doing that. The first time I'll be doing something like that, and I hope you will join me, that we can move together in clearing the fears and planting, the seeds of our future and our children's future. I love you lots. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye.